What's up, everybody? Today I'm making Thompson's Foundry, and it's 2 burners. So here I'm just got all my materials laying out, got my K-wool, and I don't really have enough, and I use that little scrap piece to fill in that gap right there, which works because I'm gonna fill it in with refractory cement anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So here I am trying to cut out the bottom with what little materials I have, and it worked pretty well, I guess. Also, this was really hard. Do not use a drill for this. Just drill some holes and then use some pliers to cut it out, unless you have one of those special drills. And here I'm taping the threads, putting it all together, the burners. I already had one burner to begin with, so I just had to buy the parts for one extra burner, and it's pretty expensive. It was like $90 or something for the whole thing, which I was kind of surprised. And I also got a T-valve with flare fittings, and here's my dog. I also got a T-valve, which you're about to see, to split the propane line so it can go to both burners. Oh yeah, here I am with the pliers again. I just drilled a bunch of holes so I could use those as a guide for tearing apart the steel, which was way easier than I actually destroyed my hole saw. And here goes my first burn. It went pretty well. It heated up really fast. I was really surprised. And the aluminum was, one muffin in there was red hot after just a few minutes. And I went ahead and poured it right back into the thing. And this eBay K-wool here was starting to fall apart. You can see as I drag the tongs across it, it starts to fall apart. So yeah, I might put some refractory on that, but here I'm mixing the refractory cement for the actual foundry, and it had rocks in it, which I don't know why, but it was really starting to tear apart my hand, so I used a little hook from a bungee cord, and I bought this little cement, I forgot what it's called, and it was cardboard. It was like $8, and let that set overnight. It ended up being really uneven, but it doesn't matter too much. And here's my first. I really wanted to cast something, so spent like all night trying to get the burner was working. I was troubleshooting. I don't know why, it just wasn't working. And I was just ready to be done with casting my first thing, so I could troubleshoot the foundry. And I think the size of the foundry on the inside is too small for the burners to work properly, because they were just gurgling and it wasn't getting as hot as it was before without the refractory cement. And the first pour went okay. It didn't go favorably. I spilled aluminum all over the place, and I used way too much aluminum. But as you can see, it was all right. I could work with it. And next, I put it on the sander. I was probably doing this wrong. I don't know. It was getting really hot. This is the first time I've used this machine. And I also used a mill to face off one side. I haven't done the other side because it's not worth it really. So here's the finished product. It's pretty rough. This isn't really because of the sand, like the surface finish right here. This is because of the sand, but all this roughness is because I carved the styrofoam with an X-Acto knife, and it looks terrible. I basically whittled this thing. Also, I was really concerned with how long it took for the aluminum to melt down. It took 15 to 30 minutes for those muffins to melt down. I feel like it should go quicker than that. It took a while for it to get red hot. And Thompson's Foundry build, it's kind of clunky. I don't really like it that much. And I've seen ones online and on Reddit, and just on YouTube where people use helium tanks or whatever they can find, stuff like that, and they make better ones. The top on Grant's trash can Foundry isn't really that great, and yeah, but I'll make another video where I'm not really in a position to critique it, but I'll give my own personal critiques based on my experience with it. And I'll probably plan another build in the future, or I'll probably also share with everyone a future plan for a Foundry build. Maybe something a little cheaper with the same burners, but just a whole different setup, because I just don't really like the trash can. It's not that great, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video.